All right, I have officially decided if my fuel pump doesn't show up today, which I'm 99% sure it's not going to, I am going to start working on the Evo 8. Probably in the next video, maybe even in today's video, I don't really know. The reason for it is today's Saturday. If it doesn't show up today, we have all day tomorrow to not really do anything, and it might show up Monday, but still probably not. This car needs some serious love. It is going to be my winter car, so we have a ton of work to do. We have so much work to do. We got to pull the motor, the tranny, the transfer case, probably the subframe, recoat the Evo 8 wheels, get our new wheels on. We just have way too much to do to not work on it. You know what I'm saying? And I know I made a promise to myself, and I made a promise to you guys too that the Evo 10 is going to be done, but if shipping companies are going to be slow right now, which is completely understandable, it's almost Christmas, there's a ton of mail going out, so if they're going to be slow and I can't get the fuel pump in, we got to work on the Evo 8. With that being said though, we do have some massive injectors and an adjustable fuel pressure regulator to install on the Evo 10 today, which I am pretty freaking excited for. We're currently running, or we were running, the FIC 1100cc injectors, perfect for pump gas. We might have been a little bit on the edge of like maxing them out. To go to E85, you need a massive fuel system. We're doing two Walbro 450 fuel pumps, we're doing ID 2000s, and we're doing an adjustable fuel pressure regulator, all just to run E85. This thing on pump gas, as it sits, would probably make like 560, 580, somewhere in that range, like pushing the limits, upping the boost, probably a crazy amount of timing, which I don't necessarily want to run. Or we can switch over to E85, have two maps, one E85, one pump gas. When we want to haul last, we throw it on E85. We head over to the corner of the shop where I'm going to store a 55-gallon drum of E85, put the 85 in the car, and go make some runs, go do some, I don't know, maybe bring it to the track one day, get it on the dyno, see how much power it makes, and just have a ton of fun with the car. Then when we have to go do a road trip, run out all the 85, throw pump gas back in there, and we'll be good to go. And it'll be reliable too on pump gas. And E85, when you're making high power, running high boost, it's way more reliable than pump gas. Here are the injectors we're going to be running. These are ID 2000s. Now I did pick these guys up used. New are about $1,000. I got these used that were just cleaned and flow tested by a professional shop, and I paid $600 for them. That is how I'm able to afford like building cars and all that. I buy a lot of stuff used, and if I ever part this car out, put it back to stock, I can easily get my $600 back for these ID 2000s. Those are the injectors we're running. Here is the adjustable fuel pressure regulator. I got this from MA Performance. I'll have this link down below. And if you guys want to buy a brand new set of ID 2000s, I'll have them linked down below as well. My discount code, Devin5, will save you 5% off anything on, or a lot of stuff on Modern Auto Performance, not anything. So today's goal is to get all this stuff installed. And then if we can get all this done in a timely manner, we may still have some time to maybe start working on the Evo 8. We do also have our AMS fuel to reinstall. We're going to make some good power, guys. So I think the first thing we are going to install is our AMS fuel rail. Now I know that because we're going to the adjustable fuel pressure regulator, this is a stock regulator. We're going to pull this guy off real quick. So we're going to install this along with our ID 2000 injectors. All right, so we got the fuel rail and the injectors installed, all super clean looking. I did get the one fitting on for the fuel pressure regulator. I got the wiring all tucked under the fuel rail. So all you literally see is just the fuel rail and none of the injector wiring. Now let's figure out how this fuel pressure regulator is set up. It's always a little bit weird trying to find a good place for the regulator. The two most common places on an Evo 10, number one is right in the center. Second is off to the side somewhere. I kind of want mine right in the center. I just think it looks dope like that. So let's rip this thing open, see what all we have to install. This is how we have everything set up. This is the fuel pressure regulator. Bracket is on, fittings are on, gauge is on, plugged on the bottom. That is for the vacuum source that's gonna run back to the intake. This braided line is gonna run to this elbow, and that is gonna connect right there on the fuel rail. On this side, it's gonna run to this rubber hose. We might have to pull off the intake to get to it, but it runs way down there. The first thing we're gonna do is bolt this onto the car. So that is where the regulator is going to sit. Looks pretty good there. Kind of looks like it's supposed to be there. Now this line right here, this metal line, we just started cutting that yesterday or 2 days ago. Installed it yesterday. We are not going to be using it, so we can go ahead and pull this line off. We might as well go ahead, pull the intake off as well. We do have to run a few rubber lines, or I guess just one rubber line to that metal rail right down there. So there's this rubber line right here. It connected to that metal rail we just pulled off, and it connects down there as well, that clamp. So we're just gonna pull that rubber hose off and we can get all the lines made for this new regulator. This rubber hose right here is replacing that guy, and this hose is gonna run from this end of the regulator all the way down to that right there. So now we just have to build a tiny braided line. It's gonna run from there to there. This vacuum line is gonna plug right onto that guy. I'll probably have to extend it a little bit and we'll be all finished up. The best way to cut braided line is just use a cutoff wheel. If you have one, or a Sawzall or something, try to cut this with metal scissors, straight pain in the ass. I did end up finding some black braided line laying around, so I'm gonna use this. It's gonna match my whole black and red theme a little bit better. All right, guys, the car is 100% complete. It's all back together and it looks so damn good. I really want to try to start it up. Probably shouldn't. We went from 1100s all the way up to 2000s, and we have an adjustable fuel pressure regulator, so I highly doubt it's going to start. Problem is, I need to move the car. It is in the way of bringing the Evo 8 into the shop. I mean, I guess I could try to squeeze it in the back, but ideally I want to get, it'd be nice to get this car into this back corner, and then I'd be working on the Evo 8 right here. That's always where I always back cars in when I'm doing like motor swaps and whatever. I do think I'm going to prime the fuel system and make sure we don't have any fuel leaks. If we do, I hope it doesn't take off the Cerakote, just because that Cerakote is not dry, or it's not cured. It's dried, but it's not cured. It'll be 3 more days until it's fully cured. I guess let's try to prime the fuel system and then try to start the car. I don't know what's going to happen. We can give it a shot. I don't know what we unplugged, but it won't even crank over. What did we unplug? Oh, I know. Starter. There's a wire underneath the intake manifold that runs over to the starter. That wire's still unplugged. All right, we got the wire plugged in. We did have a little fuel leak right there, and that fitting was just a little bit loose, so I tightened that up. Now we can try to prime the system again, see if we get any sort of fuel pressure reading on our gauge right there. If it holds pressure, that means we don't have any leaks. We should be good to try to start it up on this old tune. All right, so we just had that one small leak, easy fix. I'm gonna try to go ahead and start the car, see what happens. I highly doubt it's gonna start, or it might start a little bit. It ain't gonna run though. It's not gonna run all that good. It's gonna be spitting fuel out the exhaust. It runs. It might run enough to move it. That'd be ideal. That'd be nice. All right, guys, let's try to move it. It's in the front of the shop right now. This guy needs to come over here, and I want the front end right here, so we have to go all the way outside, coming through the back. I'm gonna go ahead and say right now that probably wasn't the smartest thing I've ever done, but hey, we got the car in the back of the shop where it needs to be. That is where it's gonna sit until the double pumper comes in. Hopefully, I don't know. FedEx is extremely slow. I'm just gonna say that right now. Hopefully soon. Hopefully it comes in really soon. I'm gonna move on to the Evo 8. We decided earlier that, you know, if the double pumper doesn't come in today, it didn't show up, that we're gonna move on to the Evo 8. I pulled off the cop system we had on there, all the coils, and got rid of it. So we need to find the stock coils. Our new setup hasn't came in yet. I need to find my stock system, put it on the car so we can start it up and try to drive that thing into the shop. That clutch is pretty bad. Like, it doesn't really work at all, so we might have to just throw it in gear. I don't know, we'll figure it out. But let's try to find that stock coil system. All right, guys, just found the stock coils. I'm gonna go throw them on the car real quick, and let's hope it still runs. It's been, what, like a month maybe since that clutch got destroyed, and I haven't started the car at all, so I think it should still be good. Battery shouldn't be too dead. Yeah, I don't think we have those coils on right. All right, I flipped the coils around how they should be. Let's give her hell, see if she'll start. I guess it'd probably help if I plugged in the coils. This car is such a pile of shit right now, guys. I cannot believe I've let it get this bad. Plastic up wheels, flat tire, hole in the grill, another flat tire, clutch is destroyed, paint is destroyed, engine bay is a mess. Definitely long overdue. I'm super excited right now to get started on this Evo. One thing I really do need that I have not been able to find, I've been looking constantly for it, is a passenger side headlight lens. If you have one or see one for sale, please tag me in it. Shoot me a DM on Instagram if you have them for sale. You can't buy them new. I can't find just a single headlight used. A used set goes for like $800. So if you have just a lens, that'd be dope. First things first, I'm gonna clean the car up. It's an absolute disaster. I don't wanna be working on a completely disgusting car. I'm gonna give it a wash, maybe vacuum out some stuff, pressure wash the engine bay, go through, give this thing a good cleaning, show it some love that it deserves. Finally got the car flipped around, backed into the shop where it's gonna stay while we pull the engine and all the drivetrain stuff. So I think what I wanna do right now, I'll probably pull off the hood, pull off the front bumper, maybe get the car up in the air, drain some fluids out of it, and just start tearing stuff apart. Let's get after it. All right guys, so this is where we are at right now. I got a bunch of stuff pulled off: the turbo kit, intake manifold, radiator. That's where we are ending for tonight. I do have a question for some of you DSM, Evo 8, Evo 9 people that are smart, the gurus of the channel. So all this evap stuff, this right here, it connects to this metal fuel line, or yeah, metal fuel line down here. Can I just delete all that? And there's some stuff on the intake manifold too. Do I need all that stuff, or can I delete it? If you know, drop a comment down below. And then on this intake manifold as well, there's all this shit on the backside. I think that's the evap solenoid of some sort, all this hoses and shit. Because obviously, like with the aftermarket manifold, you're not gonna run any of that. So if you guys know if I can just take all that stuff off, plug these ports, drop a comment down below or shoot me a DM on Instagram or something. But I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up today's video right here. Tomorrow we're definitely gonna get the motor pulled out of this thing. Hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Peace out. I'll see you tomorrow.